Supergirl. The Maid of Might has been around almost as long as Superman, proving to generations of comic fans that, where superpowers are concerned, women are every inch the equal of men. Supergirl is actually Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin from Krypton. As such, she has all of the same abilities he does, but her inexperience has made her road to heroism a slightly rocky one. Since arriving on Earth, she has learned many hard lessons about truth and justice and how they work, but has proven herself worthy of wearing the familiar S shield, made famous by her cousin and representing the values he embodies. Kara's story began, like Superman's, on the planet Krypton. The daughter of well-known scientist Zor-El, young Kara lived in Argo City with her father and mother Eliora. Zor-El's brother, Jor-El, had just discovered a mysterious region in the space-time continuum he called the Phantom Zone. Jor-El thought this would be a good place to hold Krypton's criminals, a bloodless exile and escape-proof prison. Or so he thought. Zor-El disagreed, and the two brothers argued at length with the leaders of Krypton on how to proceed. Jor-El won, and the Phantom Zone became the interdimensional prison for Krypton's most vile criminals. The Phantom Zone prisoners vowed vengeance on Jor-El and promised to kill him and all of his descendants. Jor-El had also discovered that Krypton was facing imminent destruction and planned to send his only son, Kal-El, to a distant planet called Earth, where the infant would survive the Great Cataclysm. Zor-El, wanting to protect Kal-El from the wrath of the Phantom Zone, sent his daughter Kara into space as well, brainwashing her into kill a Kal-El, as this was preferable to him falling into the hands of the Kryptonian criminals. Zor-El placed Kara in a spacecraft that kept her in suspended animation for the duration of her journey. She would awaken on Earth, find the baby Kal-El, and kill him. The planet Krypton exploded as Jor-El foresaw. Years passed, and the two spaceships headed for Earth. Kal-El's arrived first, and he was found by Jonathan and Martha Kent, and they raised him as their own. On reaching adulthood, he became Superman, the greatest of Earth's superheroes. Kara's journey was not as successful. Her craft was engulfed by a massive fragment of the planet Krypton and flew through space trapped inside the meteor, though still headed in Earth's direction. Finally, after more than 30 years, the meteor reached Earth and crashed into the Gotham City Bay. The meteor crumbled into several fragments of kryptonite, revealing Kara's ship preserved inside. Gotham City's most famous resident, Batman, had tracked the meteor down. Discovering that it was made of kryptonite, he contacted Superman. Diving underwater, Batman uncovered Kara's ship. He recognized the Kryptonian symbols emblazoned on its hull, and informed Superman of its apparent origins. Batman was shocked to see a mysterious 16-year-old girl emerge from the ship and swim ashore. He lost track of her, and so contacted Superman for help. Afraid and alone, Kara walked the streets of Gotham City. She only spoke a Kryptonian, and encountered the city's criminal underbelly straight away. She used her newly discovered superpowers, like heat vision and super strength, to protect herself until Superman arrived. Speaking to her in Kryptonian, Superman learned that this mysterious girl was his cousin, who had been sent to protect him. She had remained in suspended animation with hardly any memory of her past or her mission. Superman took Kara to his Fortress of Solitude, where she was able to study Earth's customs and languages. She acclimatized very quickly, taking on the persona of an average American teenager, albeit one who could fly. Batman, however, was distrustful of Kara, and cautioned Superman not to believe her story so readily. But Superman, who had longed for a family of his own, took Kara under his wing. Kara lived for a brief period of time with Superman and his wife Lois Lane. As Clark Kent, Superman introduced Kara to many Earth customs, and helped her keep her special abilities a secret. Following a brief fight in a metropolis park, Wonder Woman took Supergirl away from Clark to train her amongst the warrior Amazons on her home island Themyscira. Kara underwent extensive training in combat and strategy at Themyscira, learning from the best Amazonian warriors. Her training was cut short, however, when Granny Goodness and the female Furies of Apocalypse attacked the island and kidnapped Kara, taking her to their planet to meet the evil galactic ruler Darkseid. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman followed Kara's trail to Apocalypse, where they confronted Darkseid. The ruler of Apocalypse informed them that Kara was under his control now, and she would only do his bidding. Superman and Kara fought one another, with Superman successfully breaking her free of Darkseid's control. With Batman and Wonder Woman's help, Superman returned Kara to Earth. Once back on Earth, Superman presented Kara with a uniform featuring his famous S-shield. Having completed her training, she was ready to tackle the world as its newest superhero, Supergirl. Before she could be introduced to the Justice League and the rest of the world, however, Supergirl faced her first true challenge. Darkseid had followed her and Superman to Earth. Darkseid nearly defeated Superman and was about to kill the Man of Steel with twin blasts of his powerful Omega beams, when Kara leapt in front of them and appeared to be disintegrated. A devastated Superman fought back, punishing Darkseid by trapping him in the Source Wall, the great barrier around our universe. When he returned to Earth, Superman found Kara was alive after all. Batman had used a Justice League teleportation device to protect her from Darkseid. Finally, Superman introduced Supergirl to his JLA colleagues, happy to have a new hero to help him in his famous never-ending battle for truth and justice. Having become Supergirl, Kara began her new life on Earth. She found herself the target of the malicious Lex Luthor, Superman's arch-nemesis. Luthor used black kryptonite to split Kara into good and evil versions of herself. He'd hoped to control the evil version for his own schemes, but was ultimately unsuccessful. Evil Supergirl destroyed Luthor's kryptonite armor, nearly killing him in the process. Evil Kara also had a desire to kill Kal-El, which her good half couldn't explain. With the help of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, the good half of Kara was able to rejoin her evil half. Supergirl acknowledged that a lot of what she would become in life, both the good and the bad, was thanks in large part to the influence of the three heroes, who not only saved her life, but had also become her mentors. It was a pretty hefty responsibility, but Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all felt honored to be so considered. They had faith in Kara and wanted her to succeed as a hero in life. Kara was not the instant hero she and many of her colleagues expected her to be. She made a lot of mistakes along the way, but also managed to do a lot of good in the process. She fought alongside members of the Justice League when the robotic Omax attacked the world. She also went into space to help investigate a war that was going on between a pair of unusually peaceful species. Yet, despite her best efforts, Kara was not able to connect on a personal level with any other heroes. She wasn't invited to join the Teen Titans, even after the group of superpowered teenagers lost their leader, Connor Kent, in battle. The Outsiders, another team of heroes, also did not accept her. She found a sometime ally in the form of Power Girl, a female hero from a parallel universe, who had been the cousin of Superman in that reality. She and Supergirl were, in some ways, the same person. Power Girl and Supergirl even teamed up to save the people of the shrunken bottle city of Kandor. However, because of mistakes she made in Kandor, Kara's confidence was shaken, and she quit trying to be a hero. This led to a rift between her and Superman, and caused her to distance herself from Power Girl as well. Around this same period of time, Kara mysteriously found herself in the distant future of the 31st century. She joined a team of heroic teenagers called the Legion of Superheroes. At first, she thought her experiences were all a vivid dream, but soon came to accept that it was a reality. She really had traveled to the future. As a member of the Legion, she fought alongside heroes her own age, and they helped restore her confidence. At first, however, Supergirl was not much of a team player. In the 21st century, she had to rely only on herself, and old habits die hard. Her adventures in the 31st century were invaluable to her. She was a major player as the alien race known as the Dominators declared war on Earth. She grew up a lot, but her newfound maturity wasn't a permanent development, as her memories of the Legion and the 31st century itself were blocked before she was returned to the 21st century. Back in her own time, and with no memory of her positive experiences with the Legion, Kara found herself falling under negative influences. She chose her friends poorly during a brief attempt at attending school. She had a romantic fling with Captain Boomerang, one of the Flash's enemies, and with Powerboy, an empath who was physically and emotionally abusive to her. Kara then engaged, physically and emotionally, in a violent fight with Batgirl, almost killing her opponent when a sharp crystal unexpectedly manifested out of her body. Scarily, she once again heard the call from her darker inner self to her cousin Superman. Realizing her life was falling apart, Supergirl tried hiding from everything she'd done wrong. In so doing, she had a vision that showed to her history on Krypton. She learned of Zor-El's plans for her, and the brainwashing to kill Kal-El in order to protect him from the Phantom Zone villains. She learned that the strange crystals she used against Batgirl had been inserted inside her to protect her from the wrath of the Kryptonian villains. With this greater understanding of her past, Supergirl realized that she needed to make right a lot of the things she'd done. She apologized to Captain Boomerang, Superman, Power Girl, and many others whom she had pushed away as she was exploring her identity. She got to know Lois better, and found that Superman's human parents, the Kents, loved her as well. Kara even found a best friend in Wonder Girl Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Woman's teenage protege. The two have since shared an apartment and found their greatest support in one another. With a more positive outlook on life stemming from her descent to rock bottom, Supergirl was invited to join the newest group of Teen Titans. Kara has enjoyed being a Titan, particularly since it allows her to spend even more time with Cassie. The two best friends not only share their secrets with one another, but also fight crime side by side. Cassie and Kara still make mistakes, though. They recently attacked Air Force One, the private plane of the President of the United States, thinking it was a threat to the Amazons, who had trained Kara and Cassie years before. They'd been misguided, however, and unfortunately lost trust in the eyes of many of the American public. Fortunately, Robin and the rest of the Teen Titans were able to prevent the girls doing too much damage. Both Supergirl and Wonder Girl have made amends for attacking the President. Following the fight with the Amazons, Supergirl once again felt that her confidence had been shaken. But a chance encounter with Karate Kid, a member of the Legion of Superheroes from a parallel universe, brought back Kara's memories of her own time with the Legion. She was able to remember the confidence she'd built in the 31st century, and felt a renewed sense of pride in herself. With this increased confidence, Supergirl found she was able to undertake dangerous missions on her own. She has partnered up with the likes of Lobo, a grouchy alien bounty hunter, and most recently found a mysterious object in space that brought back even more memories of her time on Krypton. She saw her first meeting with baby Kal-El and recalled having babysat him. She even saw Lara, Superman's mother, and remembered how she sang beautifully to Kal-El. Although she spent time in the distant future, Kara was never allowed to learn what her ultimate destiny in the 21st century was. The Legion of Superheroes was very careful to tell Supergirl as little as possible about her time in the present century. As she has learned more and more about her past, however, she has gained greater confidence and improved her skills as a superhero. She has earned not only a spot in the prestigious Teen Titans, but also the right to wear the famous S-Shield, fighting her own never-ending battle for truth and justice. Kara Zor-El is no longer just Superman's cousin. She is Supergirl, the Maid of Might.